I'm in Matthew chapter 27, verse number 45. Look with me at the text, and there you will find that the sun darkened. The sun darkened. That's a miracle unto itself. Why, preacher? Because historians and anthropologists suggest, and theologians all surmise, that Jesus was actually placed on the cross at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, nails went through his hands. At 9 o'clock, nails were pierced through his feet. But here it is, the cross stayed on the ground from 9 until 12. At 12 o'clock, they hoisted the cross up. And then at 12 is when the sun went dark. I think I've lost you. As long as Jesus was on the ground, it was not an issue. But when he got elevated, that's when things change. I need you to understand, as long as you stay on the level of the people you with, you'll never have a problem. But when you begin to elevate and see promotion and see rise, that's when you see things around you get dark. And the Bible says when he got elevated, the sun refused to shine. The reason why this is important is I don't want you to skate by it too quickly, because there you will see is that from the 6th hour until the 9th hour, darkness prevailed. And unless you jaywalk past the text too quickly, you'll miss that darkness has a deadline. Darkness can't stay but so long. But God has in fact given a limitation as to how long you gonna stay in the dark situation. That's why our ancestors of ancient old used to quote, there's a bright side somewhere, and weeping may endure for a night, but God help me if I wake up tomorrow morning, joy is gonna be right there to meet me. And in case you missed it, whatever you're going through, the dark season has a deadline. He let darkness cover the earth. Here it is, because darkness is a metaphorical symbol for judgment. John chapter 1 verses 4, 5, and 9 suggest that Jesus is the light of the world. But when it went dark, it was a symbol to the earth realm that the light has been snuffed out. When you read the account of what happened at the crucifixion in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, you will note that people were gathered at the foot of the cross. They were at the foot of the cross. The Bible records Mary was there. The other Mary was there. The centurions were there. John was there. And then God made the sun go dark. The question you've got to ask as critical thinkers is, why did he make it go dark? Because Jesus had hit rock bottom, and he was not going to let people watch him in shame. He wasn't going to let people see him when he was at his lowest moment. And the reason why you ought to give God the glory is that when things got rough for you, people couldn't even see how bad you were suffering. They look at you in church and they assume that everything is good for you, but they got no idea that you're feeling frustrated and drained and wounded and broken. But God said, I shielded you, because there were some folk that wanted to see you hit rock bottom. But Maya Angelou said, did you want to see me twisted with your bitter, twisted lies, but still like dust? I rise, I rise, I rise. You ought to be shouting, because when you hit the rock bottom, your enemies couldn't see you crying. They couldn't see you frustrated. They couldn't see you angry, because he covered you in the darkness. I'm giving God the glory, because when I come to church, the folk at your church think they know you. Oh my God, because they sit near you, because they've been watching you. They got no idea what you endured. But the reason why 80 of us are giving God the glory is because when we were in the dark night of the soul, when we were in a place where we didn't feel like getting out of the bed, when there were moments where we couldn't even answer the phone and just watched it ring, God had to creep into our bedroom and remind us I'll never leave you or forsake you. And some of y'all can't shout because you ain't never hit a dark spot. But if you ever been at a dark place and you trying to figure out how I didn't kill nobody, how I didn't lose my mind, how I didn't backslide, how they wounded me and I smiled anyway because he covered me